Universal rejected a lot of content. They were really nitpicking. They were to prove something and send concept and renders, and Vivendi would give a green light, and then when the level is done or almost completely done, then they would reject it. Baked Alaska, it's basically Alaska was turned into a desert, and that's why it's called Baked Alaska. So it was kind of a desert kind of environment. It looked beautiful, and it had a lot of really cool layout and design and what have you. Baked Alaska was a very, very painful cut to the team because the team liked that one. The lead designer especially, I think it was the last straw for him, because that one I liked the layout of that one. I can't remember enemies and what have you. It was just the layout. It was the vibe. It had a really good vibe. It was, it looked like Bugs Bunny and Coyote, It looked like a Roadrunner, very Warner Brothers-esque to it, and it was really attractive. It was an attractive level. I do remember areas of waterfalls and water and everything else. The problem is that the original concept of the game was that the game was a linear experience, and for some reason, Vivendi Universal did not like the level designs to be linear. They wanted them to be circular, like Mario. They argued that all of the Spyro levels before were circular and not linear. Problem is the technology was never designed to support that at the technological level in terms of what they call levels and sub-level loading and what have you. So they had sub-level systems, and the way the code worked is that the game could only go straight forward. If you went back across sub-levels, like I can crash that game at will to this day if I come across it. You go across 3 sub-levels, come back 2, move forward 1, hard crash. Because the same technology also drove Aliens Colonial Marines, and that's why it crashed in E3 and they pulled it down.
2 music tracks exist outside of the cut free for Enchanted Forest, but it's hard to hear, especially the second track. By piecing the first 2 clips together and a very hard to access music file inside the game titled Pirates, we can get a much better listen to this track. Let's enhance the audio. We can tell this was going to be used within a level called Cutthroat Cove, due to the name Pirates matching the theme of the level. Cutthroat Cove, Baked Alaska, and Enchanted Forest are currently the only 3 levels that got extremely far in development. As for the other music track, that would have likely been an additional minigame in either Cutthroat Cove or Baked Alaska, although we can barely enhance it.
Hi guys, welcome back. Scatlink here, and we are off for more of Spyro 4 Enter the Dragonfly. And in the last episode, we did another lap and a quarter of Crop Circle Country, effectively going in a full circle. Because, I mean, it's more of like a half really, because we had to go through the level once in order to free the cows at the back of the barn, because Bill didn't want to blow it up. Even though he's playing with explosives, he won't mess with fire. But once we provided the fire, we freed the cows, went for another lap, blasted down some UFOs, and, well, we actually kind of bookended the entire episode with that, start and finish. But we're back in the Dragon Realms, because we're done with that, and we got to move on to our next level. And if you remember, we needed at least, 15 Dragonflies in order to get into this level? We had enough right before, no, we needed 25, excuse me. But yeah, we have enough now in order to actually go into this level. There's not anything to do in the hub world, so we're just going to move straight on through to this level.
Yay! You got enough dragonflies to get the boat up and running. Hop aboard.
Alright, awesome. Thank you for the ride, good sir. Let's go and surf some waves. As I almost fall off the bloody boat that's going to take us there. And by just looking at this loading screen, you can clearly tell that you're just kind of spinning in a circle, or the assets are spinning around you in a circle. It is so obvious. You can see the curvature, especially in the widescreen, and, like, you know, how the that little island kind of tilts around. I think that's supposed to be where we're supposed to be sailing towards. As we're about to see right now. Now we didn't get double loading again. I don't know why that's been happening recently, but yeah. This level... Remember what you said when we were when we first tried to go through this level? Just bash these tiki heads with a very nice coconut bonk noise. I'm not putting in myself. Yeah, we've got our first water level, but it's mostly half water level, so it's not too bad. In fact, this level's got very memorable music that is synonymous with this game. Like, very nice chill music. And the enemies are quite derpy, like those tourist dinosaurs there. The tikis, though... well... Don't know if you would get away with some stuff, these days, because... the general public, in terms of news and all that, you know, kind of wet wipes, so... This is killing comedy, and I don't like it. But we're not worried about that for now. What we're worried about is getting these gems, and these harpoon, like, riptocs under the water here, they're a pain! Because... unless you just charge straight at them and hit them, they're going to keep launching their javelins at you. They are going to hit you, and you'll be stunned for a loop, and... you're going to take a lot of damage otherwise. Also, you want to be very thorough checking the waters underneath here. And if you remember what I said before with these nets, if you see a gap, if you can, like, charge through it, you might be able to clip out of bounds and swim anywhere. Yeah, kind of swim everywhere is kind of a easier trick to pull off than the original trilogy. I don't actually think it's able to be pulled off in the Reignite trilogy. It's like one of the glitches that actually was, like, just fixed due to the rework. But remember, this is an engine that was built from the ground up to replicate what the PS1 games were, because, you know, you just couldn't port the engine over. So, yeah, it's all from scratch, but it's an approximation, it's close, and it's, you know, it's something I appreciate. Hello there, rune! Not an ice rune, though, it's some sort of web or wing. I'll have to see what that is later by bringing it to the crystal statue. There is a dragonfly here. Can we go get you, please? Got it.
Hey, it's Gary.
No, that Gary. Gary never flipping oak. Doing? You just hit you just flame them and they're just doing. I think when they set that, I think that's what you keep hearing with the hi. That's basically them, which is very weird. In fact, if I get close to this one on top of this ledge here, you might hear it. You gonna say it? That's it, that's the noise. It's a bit of a weird noise, as I'm just killing these pelicans for health. Don't mind me. Trying to grab some money. And I want to head this way before we actually move on. That stuff, though, up there, where that we can actually see a challenge portal, as well as that dinosaur and a couple of gems, that's at the end of the level. Yeah, it's literally right above us. Like, in one of the caves just above us is where the exit portal is. So, this level winds around quite a bit, up and down and all around. Can be very confusing, so, you know, if an in-game map was a thing, maybe it was planned but not implemented, that would be useful.
Thank you so much, Spyro. I just couldn't have handled being eaten for dinner.
No problem. I'll keep a nose out for your friends. I think I can smell them roasting off in the distance. Just kidding.
You should not be making jokes like that, my guy. That's literally threatening his life, as well as his friends' lives. Also, his mouth wasn't moving. And sorry for the cut. I accidentally skipped the text box. I talked to him again in order to get it. I thought it was the end of the text box after the first line. Maybe. Also, this corridor is huge, but Yeah, it's very winding as well for culling purposes and loading purposes, which I do appreciate, because it makes the level run a little bit better. Seriously, this level's a lot more compact, so technically there is a lot more on screen, but it's not reaching far off stuff that it has to render, because, like, this game doesn't have any low poly stuff, like, level of detail sort of thing. Which I think might be this game's main issue. Like, there was no low-level polygon versions of anything. Because, like, that's the thing that the original Spyro trilogy did on PS1. When it was too far away, it became like a mosaic, kind of like painted picture sort of thing. It kind of like blurs it all together. Oh, who am I talking to? Oh, boy.
Get me out of here. Please get me out of here. I heard a Riptide talking about sausages.
Oh, no.
Sure, what can I do?
Hey, there's a button on the cliff. All the way over there.
Why was that echoey? And lower pitch. Did they forget to put the filters on that? Oh, no worries. At least he showed me what I need to do.
I think there might be an underwater cave somewhere around here.
Okay, that was actually normal pitch again. Like, they must have forgot to put the effects on or something. Anyways, we now know what we need to do. We need to get up there to free the dude so we can go on forward. But that means we need to go into another little area to get onto the top of this area. And that's the theme for this level. It's kind of, well, other than obviously the tiki and vacation-like design and the nice upbeat music. But, oh god, I want to kill these things quick. Don't shoot me! Thank you. Get some of these. There's a lot of gems underwater. Mostly on the seabed, so you want to be quite thorough on getting all of them. Alright, I'm going to kill you before you kill me. Help me to help you to help him. And you hear me say, hey, I'm milking the Milking Way. Having a lovely day. I feel like a million. Don't know why I went into that. Let's grab the rest of the gems down here. I did get the enemy around here, didn't I? Looks like I did. Sometimes when you hit them, it don't make it like a sound effect, so you have like no context if you actually hit them or not. Just gotta grab all the gems and basically tell yourself, yep, I'm moving on. Provided they don't, you know, bug out. Which can happen. So, I mentioned it, like, in editing, I saw that a gem did actually go for the floor in Dragonfly Dojo. And the only reason why I got it is because Sparks had already locked on and went for it, so he salvaged it for me. Thank you, buddy. Like, your range seems to be inconsistent at times with some gems, as we saw, like, in Crop Circle Country, while I was standing right next to one, so I almost touched it myself, effectively. And yet, you know, you have those kind of instances where he saves your skin from a potential reload, just to get one gem. So, I can't complain too much. There's another guy here. Trying to save the other guy.
Spyro, I heard you on the island, but I didn't believe it. You gotta help me. One of the Riptocs keeps calling me ham sandwich and asking me if I'd go better with mustard and mayonnaise.
These guys are... I mean, to be fair, I mean, before we arrived, before we even had enough dragonflies, first pig basically went to market and said that these guys were savages. Kind of living up to that name, unfortunately. But there are dinosaurs here as well, even though they look like tourists. Maybe they're here for the show. Right, we gotta save this guy before we can even save the first guy, because we need to get through here in order to get to the first one. So, here. There we go. I like that noise, but it's like so derpy. It's like it doesn't really seem like it would fit, but it does. One of those weird ones. Oh, that was a bit of a weird movement with the gate. Just kind of went. Aha! I've saved you, my guy. That was the professor's noise, actually.
Whew! Thank goodness you got to me before the Riptocs could.
You know, I actually like these guys, their voices, because it kind of sounds like a much more thick Timon from Timon and Pumbaa, you know? It's got that kind of... Is it Brooklyn accent? It sounds like a Brooklyn accent. Like, it's very thick. But it's even thicker than normal Timon. I burned you! You're a bunch of wood. I burned you and you didn't get hit. Excuse me? That was point blank! You just completely ignored it. It's probably because he was in the middle of an attack. He took a swing at me, and that's the reason why, perhaps. What did that do? What's going on? Is that Spyro? Oh, okay. Just wanted to spin on the spot. We freed that Dragonfly, but obviously we need to bubble him up in order to collect him. We'll do that in a moment, though. He's not going to leave, so that's fine. We want to finish off here. See, there we go. Look, you can actually see the Super Flame, like, power up in the gate now. I guess it just couldn't render in Crop Circle Country. But yeah, we do have a challenge here. So, just grabbing all the stuff here first. Let's renew my ability. Well, it's not actually a challenge. It is a genuine power-up gate this time. As you can see, there's just a Dragonfly kind of just bouncing around in mid-air over there. How are we supposed to get him? So, game. Thank you. Okay, so now I want to go into first person. So now we can shoot every single one of these tiki head targets. You can actually see your shots better in this level as well. Maybe it's because there's not a lot of smoky particle effects going on. There we are. Ah, both of them went at the same time. Perfection. Right, so we want to go glide over this way, land on the platform. Hover, and pro tip, always hover while landing on these platforms, because they are super slippery. Because they tilt, you could basically land on them from a glide, and it won't actually count. Speaking of not counting, this is like point blank range. He walked into my head. There we go.
Hey, it's Homer.
This Bloney has a first name, it's H-O-M-E-R. My Dragonfly has a second name, it's H-O-M-E-R. Let's go down here and get another Dragonfly. That's 2 for 1, Grandma. If you would allow me to catch you.
Hey, it's Socrates.
Isn't that the name of an Olympian god? I mean, it kind of makes sense with, like, the tikis here, but... Where was that gem? I did not see that gem. Where the heck did that gem come from? I can't even speak. I'm flabbergasted. That took me by surprise. Wow. Alright, well, never mind. Got it now, so I forgot to break that tiki head. I'll meet you back around. Last month they had pumpkins on their heads, but I'm batching a bunch of tiki heads. Can't believe I missed this little platform. I had it in my mind and I just went for the Dragonflies because I'm a bloody moron. Well, I've got him now, so now we can free this guy. I didn't hit the button up there. I just went right past the... Wow, I really am a moron. Let me go again. In what manner did I come over here, bypass the switch, and then did literally everything else minus a tiki head and a gem? Like, I went for both Dragonflies, and I forgot to hit this button, which is what we came for to begin with. And it's the first thing in this area when you get up here. And I just completely ran past it, forgetting to head bash it. I don't know what's with this level, man. I always struggle. And there's actually one thing I always forget to do, and then get confused as to why I do it. But I got it in my brain, and I'm not going to forget it. But that will probably be for next episode.
Good thing you saved me. I swear I could hear the sausage grinder calling my name.
Let's sausage.
No problem. Saving pigs on vacation is what I was born to do.
Apparently. Yeah, who watches, like, Mr. Sausage? Like, that's such a meme channel, and yet, like, sometimes I actually want to try some of the sausages he makes. Like, he makes them out of burgers and all sorts of things. Yeah, I'm gonna be definitely dealing with these archers in the next episode. Because I don't really want to be dealing with them right now. But then again, I am clearing out this area, so... Nah, I think this is actually the one that I have to do twice anyway, so we'll leave most of this area for next episode. Oh, wait, lead straight toward it. You know what? Feck it, I'm doing it now. If I do it now, I'm not going to forget. So, these archers, they're a bit weird. Like, they just look like monuments. You could probably swim through all of them and just continue on your merry way and you wouldn't realise that you're doing anything. But, in actual fact, you are. If I were to swim toward this one, nothing seems out of the ordinary, but if I swim through it, and then look back at it, it's faint, but it's now pulsing. It's shining. You get no audio indication, or even a visual indication, that you have done something until you actually come back and look. But because it's so faint for this first gate, you probably wouldn't notice there's anything different, and you would have thought, oh, that was always supposed to be there, because the game is janky. It probably just didn't load for some reason until I took out enough enemies. No! Let me go through another gate. And then turn around. This one's also now got the shining pulsing thing. I need to take care of this Riptop before he shoots me again. I can't turn sharply. Got him. Right. So, we have 2. So, what happens if I go through the next 2? Ah! Gold gem out of nowhere. And it's just bouncing and tumbling all over the floor. Which, by the way, they can void out if the frame rate is very stuttery. And because you've already activated all the gates, you can't activate them again. If that happens, you're going to have to reload the level in some manner. But thankfully, going through these gates, right above, it's like they planned this, is a challenge portal. So, take with that what you will, but I always forget that they drop a gem and I either collect it or it voids out, or I don't realise that I've done it, and it turns out to be one of the gems that I'm missing. Because there's 2 sets of these gates, and we'll deal with the other set next episode. But, yeah. I was going to save it for next episode because it's like, I would forget otherwise, so I thought I'd mention it. So, we're going for 100% anyway, so it had to be mentioned regardless. Could you stop with that? Get the point, alright? You don't need to spear me in the right direction. I know where I'm going. Right, let me grab all these. Before I get too rich with my bad puns. Gonna be all washed up otherwise. Right. Let me stop. Let's get out of the water, because I think I've got everything underneath the water now. As I'm having trouble trying to surface. There, that'll do. We've got tons of pots to play with here. Smack you out of the way. Because I'm trying, I've got to remember and tell myself that we didn't do anything in the hub, we just moved on to the next level. So, I can do a little bit more in this area, and then we've got the last of the level for the next episode. Oh, I kind of just... Okay, I don't know how I gravitated towards that, but I gravitated from one to the next. Actually, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself now I can do that. Yo! That looked a bit jank, but it works. There we are. I had the wrong breath, but I fixed it. I just got to remember to change my breath after grabbing a Dragonfly. I just tend to not do that for some reason. You're walking on the spot. How did you even end up there? You got yourself stuck, my guy. Should have probably charged into him, but I probably would have bonked. Remember, charging in enemies makes the gems go into you directly. Sparks don't need to do it. Also, again, gliding really strong. Look at this. We're well above the island. There we go. We just got tons of gems there. Low value, but still tons nonetheless. It's satisfying. If this game does something really well, it's making the gems satisfying to grab because you get so many in one level. But that's, again, down to the game design, but you can't help that.
Hey, it's Daisy!
Oh, Daisy! You turned into a Riptok! Actually, no, that was the real Daisy. She was a Dragonfly all along. She transformed... It's like Princess Peach. Like, she might have been a Toadette that just happened to wear a crown and became Princess Peach or something. It's like, for Daisy, her crown made her from a Dragonfly to a human. That's the backstory, and we're sticking with it. Alright, so we got a new gate here. What would this one be? I'm actually kind of hoping Speedway, but I know it's not a Speedway. To be fair, though, Speedways are pretty fun. Could be. Oh, it looks like one, but Sparks isn't entering for us. It turns out to be Hunter again. Maybe it's another vehicle-based level?
Hey, Spyro, I was out here checking out my baby manta ray farm, and those stupid Riptoks have scared them all away. Let's race to see who can capture more of them before time runs out.
Okay. So this is basically where you keep your manta ray when we're not off... Well, probably when you moved out of Avalar, I guess.
Capture the baby manta rays?
How do we catch them? Use to steer the manta ray, press X to fire your net to make baby mantas to get at the baby mantas to catch them. Press B to make the ray swim faster. So we got a charge, we got a fire, basic stuff.
Capture the baby manta rays?
Sure, let's go. The manta ray in this game is sluggish. And yet it's supposed to be the same manta ray from the first 2 games. And we're catching all of the babies. We've got to catch them with nets. And as you can see, it is a competition. I think it's first to 10. Doesn't actually tell you how many you need. But that timer in the corner, that goes on for 3 minutes. Why is it 3 minutes long? Also, you can actually sling your nets at other sea creatures so that they don't get in your way. I just caught an octopus there and it does nothing. Also, Hunter, you're normally kind of challenging. I'm kind of sweeping you here. Just saying. And I'm holding B at the moment. Like, this is my max speed and you can't spam nets. It's like, yeah, I couldn't actually catch that guy because I was pressing B and X, excuse me, and I wasn't slinging a net. Remember, I'm playing on GameCube for the highest possible quality, so... Which at this moment is 576p, because the game doesn't like 480p, it cuts off the screen, as you saw during the start of the game of Dragonfly Dojo. It's not 10. Yeah, I don't know why you would have 3 minutes, like that bar hasn't even gone down. Okay, it's 11. Maybe it was supposed to be 10, but...
Cowabunga, dude! You got all of them in time, and they're safe and sound!
Is there a second round where we got to get more, or that's more tougher?
Hey, it's Krishnamurti!
That's a name.
Wanna try capturing them again?
Is that an extra challenge? I don't think it is, actually. Can we check the atlas during these minigames? We can! That's actually very useful, because then we can actually figure it out. I can't remember, honestly. It looks like we're already halfway through the level. We've got more than half the gems, and we got half the dragonflies. That's gone quicker than I thought, honestly. Manta ray. Doesn't say 1 or 2, just the one on its own. So that means we are done here, and we're already 60% complete. So we don't need to do this. So how do we leave? Well, thankfully, there's a give up option, like you'd expect. Don't know why the box has to be so wide for a yes or no, though.
Aw, you didn't quite make it.
I didn't really need to. We already did it.
Wanna try capturing them again?
Nope, and I think we're going to be calling it there. So, for the next episode, guys, we'll be finishing off Luau Island, taking out the evil tikis, as well as rescuing all the pigs, in order to get more dragonflies, get more gems, get further in the dragon realms, and stop Ripto.
Alright, I'll see if I can calm them down until you come back. They seem to like the way I sing.
And that's our cue to leave. See you guys next time.